What's going on, guys? Welcome to the first installment of Mix Mondays. My name is Gotti, and I am super excited to bring you guys the first of what will be many mix breakdowns in the Powerhouse Creative community. If you aren't already a member, you can become one today for free. The links are in all of the descriptions and also in my bio over on Instagram. It's just a really awesome environment for producers, artists, engineers, other creatives, and we would absolutely love to have you over there. We are posting content daily, and it is going to be a super active group. So with this first Mix Monday, we're going to be looking at how we can kind of create a sense of width and depth within a hook. Basically, we're going to look at all the moves that we made from a mix standpoint with effects and some creative bussing, as well as some recording techniques that we used to make this hook sound how it does. Some of these things you might use only one of them, you might use all of these tips here, but these are just kind of some go-to methods and kind of how I've been shaping my tracks and sounds here lately. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna play this song. It's called FMM. I recorded it with my good friend Marv. His information should be on the screen right now. Super talented R&B artist from the Kansas City area. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
Ain't no debate, I gotta take off. On hands and knees, tie my lace up. I free my mind, I get away home. I free my mind when I lace up. I free my mind when I'm one of a kind. I'm on my grind. I'm on my shine.
First thing that I really want to point out to you guys, probably the main reason why this thing sounds so flippin' wide, we did 2 sets of what I call dubs. So all a dub is just taking whatever you're singing, melodically, rhythmically, and words, doing them almost exactly the same, if not exactly the same all the way throughout, and then having some slight variation between the two. So what we did here with Marv was I had him do 2 low octaves of the same melody of his hook here, and then panned them both a little bit to the left and the right.
Ain't no debate, I gotta take off.
And then on top of that, we did basically just dubbing the hook. So he did the exact same notes, exact same cadence and everything stacked again.
Ain't no debate, I gotta take off.
And then kind of the way that we're getting this background vocal to really fit and really surround the main vocal here is we've got a couple cool things going on here on this background vocal bus here. So on the bus, the first and probably, most helpful thing is we're cutting all the vocals at 200 hertz. If I don't have that on, I'm just going to go ahead and disengage all the processing here except for some of them so you can kind of hear the process. If I was to just have these background vocals kind of sitting on top of the main vocal as is, this is how that would sound.
Ain't no debate, I gotta take off. On hands and knees, tie my lace up.
Which doesn't sound bad, but when you add this EQ on there and cut out some of those lows, you get a little bit more gelling with the main vocal.
Ain't no debate, I gotta take off. On hands and knees, tie my lace up.
It makes that low vocal almost feel like it's a part of the main vocal, and I love that. Then just a little bit more stereo imaging to make this sound a little bit more wavy is probably one of my favorite vocal plugins. It's called the Meta Flanger by Waves. I've had it for forever. This is a preset called Chorus Medium, and I've got the mix dialed back just a little bit. Take a listen to how much more this thing gels when we've got this Meta Flanger on here.
Ain't no debate, I gotta take off. On hands and knees, tie my lace up.
Just makes them kind of move and have some gentle modulation going on. Lastly, I love my OTT just to bring them up and make them pop out just a little bit more.
Ain't no debate, I gotta take off. On hands and knees, tie my lace up.
And then now with the song.
Ain't no debate, I gotta take off. On hands and knees, tie my.
Let's play these without all my processing and then with.
Ain't no debate, I gotta take off. On hands and knees, tie my lace up. I free my mind, I get away home.
And now here with it on.
Ain't no debate, I gotta take off. On hands and knees, tie my lace up. I free my mind, I get away home.
just makes him lighter on those background vocals. It's all a taste thing, and in this case, Marv just really wanted that super wide sound, so kind of thinning him out a little bit and spreading everything really did the trick. The next thing I want to point out, this kind of response vocal that he has going on. It's just a vocal here in between the stacked vocals, so it's this one. I absolutely freaking love that. A lot of people will have buses set up, right? They'll have reverbs and echoes and stuff like that on those buses, which I do have and I do use. And I was already bussing. Before I added these other effects, this is what that vocal sounded like. Ain't no debate, I got it. On hands and knees, very filtered, almost radio-y soundy kind of. And then added one of my favorite plugins here, little micro shift, again, just to give me some stereo width. Ain't no debate, I got it. On hands and knees, gives me almost like a little doubly sense. Next is I put a reverb directly on my track, not on the bus, because I wanted to completely wash this vocal out. So, and I didn't even completely do it. The mix is not quite all the way there, and we've got about almost 3 seconds of reverb going on. So once we added this reverb to this track, we sounded like this. Ain't no and then I still didn't like where we were, so I filtered out some of my top end here after my reverb. So now the reverb is getting filtered as well. So check this out now that we have this EQ on this part here. Sounds like he's in a tunnel like 3 miles away, right? So super cool, and it just fits in so well in between these stacked vocals here. Man, I love that. Finally, the last thing here, which is honestly kind of my part of, you know, what we did. In my template, right, I have a default template that's going to pull up every single time I record a song. By the way, I will be providing default templates for you guys in the Producer Powerhouse community on Discord. You can become a member, like I said, totally free today, but we will have default recording, producing, mixing templates available to you in that community. But anyways, my default template, right? Bus 4 and 5, that's some type of echo. One is a quarter note echo typically, and one's an eighth note, but I'll vary those and change those up a little bit. So on this track here, bus 5, on default, this is what my quarter note delay default sounded like in the project when we first did it. Ain't no debate, I gotta take off. On hands and knees, tie my lace up. So kind of a cool sound, but I wanted it to be a little bit wider, washier. That's the whole goal. So first thing I did is something I've been doing a ton lately, and I put a chorus plugin directly on my Echo bus. If you don't have headphones, maybe throw some in right now. This is going to be very subtle, and you're going to hear this on the echoes only. So pay attention to just the echoes here. No debate, I gotta take off. On hands and knees, tie my lace up. I free my mind, I get away. I free my mind when I lace up. So it's just subtle widening on those, making those feel like they're a little blurred, right? Next thing, I love putting OTT on my Echo bus. OTT just kind of brings up that low level information. This is what the settings look like. Here's how it sounded after we added that. Ain't no debate, I gotta take off. On hands and knees, tie my lace up. Just a little bit more presence. Still wasn't kind of liking, where we were from a expansive standpoint. So I went again to old trusty Metaflanger, and this is just the default settings, and I just pulled the mix back. Again, pay attention to just the echoes. Ain't no debate, I gotta take off. On hands and knees, tie my lace up. You hear how they're kind of getting that kind of phasery wash to them now. We're kind of wiggling a little bit. I got a little bit crazy, and I said, I kind of want to throw some reverb on only my echoes. So I went ahead and grabbed Vintage Verb again. In parallel, basically we're doing about 40% mix, and I have a super long decay time. So once I added this reverb to the Echo bus here, this is what we sounded like. Ain't no debate, I gotta take off. On hands and knees, tie my lace up. you can hear that the main vocal is not getting washed out, but I still feel wide and washy because those echoes have reverb on them as well. I thought that that was just super cool to manipulate an echo that way, to only have the echoes with reverb, and the main vocal doesn't have a whole lot of reverb at all on it. So what I'll do is I'll take off all this echo processing and you can hear what the echo sounded like in context, and then when I added everything in with it.
Ain't no debate, I gotta take off. On hands and knees, time my place up. I free my mind, I get away. I free my mind when I place up. I free my mind when I'm one of a kind. I'm on my grind. I'm on my shine.
Man, it's like all the difference, honestly. These little steps, you know, kind of tweaking that echo and manipulating the stereo field that I think really made this song sound really cool. That should just about do it. I want to try and keep these not super long. That was the first Mix Monday. Again, if you guys want to have your mixes listened to, I will be listening to mixes in my Discord community, Powerhouse Creative, every Monday, and then I will also be breaking down one of the projects that I worked on during the week, and maybe if we get to it, maybe we'll start breaking down some of your guys' projects where I actually get in to your files. But as of right now, I would really love to give you guys some feedback. So if you join the community, go ahead and submit your tracks. I will be doing this every Monday. That's it for me, guys. I appreciate you watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys next Monday.